Welcome into Philadelphia 76ers now. Hope all of you who do celebrate Christmas had a great Christmas with your family, friends, loved ones, and those close to you. And coming up on today's show, another great one, are the Philadelphia 76ers out on Zach LaVine. We have a Joel Embiid injury update, and the Sixers making an intriguing roster move, making a signing. Who did they sign? Stay tuned to find out. First, this is why you subscribe to the channel. When there's a juicy rumor out there on Zach LaVine, we cover it. When there's a new Joel Embiid injury update, we talk about it. And when the Sixers make a move, we break it down. So if you want to stay in the know with all things Sixers year-round, lock us in and hit that subscribe button today. Let's start off with Zach LaVine. Are the Sixers out on him? You know my thoughts on it. If you're a real one and you've been watching the show, I hope so. NBA Insider Mark Stein reporting that the Sixers are not expected to pursue a Zach LaVine trade. And we've talked about this so much here on the show, it hasn't made any sense, it doesn't make any sense, and it'll never make any sense to bring Zach LaVine on this basketball team. Here's what NBA Insider Mark Stein had to say. The 76ers continue to be mentioned as a potential suitor for Chicago's Zach LaVine. Based on my conversations at the G League Showcase, I continue to believe they shouldn't be. League sources say that Philadelphia, if it indeed makes an in-season trade with the assets received in the Halloween deal that sent James Harden to the Clippers, is still prioritizing a two-way player, as well as a move that does not limit its future optionality. This is great news for the Sixers, and Zach LaVine isn't anything that the Sixers should be pursuing as a basketball player. And the trade doesn't really make a lot of sense because what I've said here on the show is that the Sixers need a two-way player. Mark Stein saying the same. The Sixers also aren't going to make a move in which it affects some of the assets that they acquired in the James Harden deal. That's what Mark Stein had to say. And we've remained steadfast on this all along, that Philadelphia has between $52 and $65 million slotted for next offseason. They want that financial flexibility. Zach LaVine does not give you that financial flexibility. So it's never made sense for the Sixers to trade for him. What's also interesting is that the market for LaVine, with him not playing, has plummeted. The Chicago Bulls have turned it around a little bit. I was talking to Patrick Seatman, who's the host of our Bulls channel, and he does watch parties and obviously covers the Bulls daily. He loves the way that the Bulls are playing right now. They have synergy. They're working as a team. They have continuity. They're getting along on the floor. They seem to be happier. Most importantly, what has Chicago done? Won without Zach LaVine. 8-5. That's not a good look on LaVine, whose winning percentage as a player throughout his entire career has not been a good one. Zach LaVine just does not play winning basketball. And a reason why the Sixers are off to this start, why they have people believing in this team truly. For the first time in a little while, Nick Nurse has this team humming. Nick Nurse has this team playing a winning formula that is sustainable, and you don't want to bring in a Zach LaVine to halt and stop that momentum as well as that progress. With that, we pop up today's poll question. Do you still want LaVine on the Sixers? Y for yes, N for no. I want you to let me know and share your thoughts with us down below in the comments section. Up next on the show, latest on the Joel Embiid turned ankle. He hurt that ankle in that star-studded MVP type of performance against the Minnesota Timberwolves late last week at the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia. The Timberwolves, the number one seed in the Western Conference, one of the best defensive teams in the entire NBA, and Joel Embiid gave him the business. Now, he turned his ankle in the trenches, in the paint down low, right around the rim. Actually, he suffered that against Toronto, but the game against Minnesota was obviously really impressive. The Embiid injury happened against Toronto, and in that game against Toronto, he returned and still played excellent basketball is what I meant to say. My bad there, please forgive me. He finished the game, but had a little bit of a limp going on, and then Embiid missed that Christmas game against Miami, and his status is uncertain moving forward. Those types of ankle injuries are something where you suffer it, especially when you're the size of Joel Embiid. You might be able to play through it, but then it swells up. It starts to hurt a little bit, gets a little bit tender, and there's no reason to risk further injury on a fluky play that happens all the time in basketball when you turn your ankle stepping on somebody else's foot. this is really apparent. And we know this. Joel Embiid, with that performance against Minnesota, how he has played all year, in the month of December, averaging 40 points per game, Philadelphia really needs him. And he is the MVP of the league right now, in my opinion. Some people want to say he's the foul merchant. Do people understand that when you're 7 foot, 260 pounds, you get fouled because other people can't guard you and because you're so physically overpowering? The dude is averaging 40 points per game in the month of December, and we're at the end of the month here. That's really, really impressive. And after last night's loss to Miami, the Sixers 0-4 this year without the services of Joel Embiid. Now, Tobias Harris played pretty well. Credit to him. He might be watching the show. He may have heard me. 27 points. Kelly Oubre, 25 points. Tyrese Maxey have an uncharacteristically bad game. He was 4 of 20. Down the stretch during that Sixers comeback, he couldn't make a bucket. 1 of 8 from 3. That Heat defense bothering him a little bit, even though Miami did not have Jimmy Butler, who was out with the calf strain, only 12 points. Jaime Jaquez, really good game. 31 points. The rookie out of UCLA continuing to play really well. Bam Adebayo, you knew that he was going to give the Sixers trouble without the services of Embiid. 26 and 15 for him. And then Tyler Hero. Can't play a lick of defense. Really solid microwave score on the offensive end of the floor. 22 points in this Christmas matchup, which was dulled a little bit without Embiid or Jimmy Butler playing. Final score 119-113. We'll continue to monitor the status of Joel Embiid. I imagine he's going to be able to return hopefully at some point this week. Get well soon, JoJo. The process. Type 2-1 to send Embiid some love down below in that comment section. Coming up next here on the show, Philadelphia making a roster move, making an intriguing signing, and adding a player that I really like going into the draft process a couple of years ago. Who is it? Stay tuned to find out. First, 76ers Now is sponsored by Factor. You can get 50% off using the code NBAChat50. During this busy holiday season, I know Christmas is in the rear view, but New Year's is coming up. You might be looking for nutritious, flavorful meals to fuel you up on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, and you'll stay on track with your healthy lifestyle, all while tackling your holiday to-dos. You can cross meal prepping off your list this holiday season with Factor. Skip the meal planning, grocery shopping, chopping, and prepping, as well as cleaning up, and get Factor's fresh, never frozen meals delivered straight to your door. They're ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat them up and enjoy them. Treat yourself to high-quality, delicious meals over the holidays. 50% off. FactorMeals.com/NBAChat50. So the Sixers over the weekend signing Kenneth Lofton to a 2-way deal. Played a little bit with the Memphis Grizzlies. Really liked his game in college because, as you can see, the body type is somewhat interesting. Pause, but a thicker dude who, when you look at him, doesn't look as though he's that good of an athlete, but he's really physical, moves well for his size. He can move bodies around down low, and he can kind of handle the basketball a little bit, having versatility to his game. Woj tweeting this out on December 23rd over the weekend that the 76ers signed the forward and center Kenneth Lofton. That's another thing, positional versatility for him on a 2-way contract. Lofton played parts of the past 2 seasons with the Memphis Grizzlies. He adds depth to the Sixers front line. The corresponding roster move for Philadelphia, the Sixers are waiving guard Javonte Smart off of his 2-way deal. He was with this team playing with them in the NBA Summer League. Lofton has been great in the G League, and the level of play at the G League level isn't even the level of play in the NBL in Australia, in the professional leagues in China, even in some of the European leagues, like when Luka Doncic was playing for Real Madrid. The G League competition is not good. These numbers, though, pretty impressive, and they go to show you that he does have some ability. Now, in the G League, you're going up against some guys who aren't as physically gifted, who might not have the prerequisite size, so Lofton is able to body guys up a little bit more than he can at the NBA level. But man, look at the numbers. 20 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, connecting on about 54% of his shots. And given that body size, we'll throw the word girth out there. Some people have seen at the NBA level that he can move bodies around in the trenches and he can get physical. And that's the type of depth that the Sixers are adding to this front court. All G League first teamer and Rookie of the Year in 2022-2023, playing under the Grizzlies organization, provides a little bit of interior scoring, rebounding, and he is going to shoot some threes. And at the NBA level, he had a career high 42 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder last year. So he's had moments at the NBA level. Consistency, a little bit of an issue, and that's why he's gone back and forth between the NBA level and the G League level. He's going to provide just a little bit more big man depth. And I've been a little bit underwhelmed by Mo Bamba. I know that he can hit some threes from time to time, but the coaching staff with Philadelphia, the coaching staff with Orlando, they clearly see Los Angeles Lakers. Something is missing in the day-to-day process for Mo Bamba, and that's why he doesn't get consistent minutes, despite the crazy athletic length. But Lofton adding a little bit of depth there on that front line, and he is still a young and developing player who I believe played his college ball at Louisiana Tech. So welcome Kenneth Lofton Jr. to Philadelphia. Type KL in the comment section as you venture down there to welcome Kenny. I want you to hit that subscribe button. Also, some trivia time here on 76ers Now. Get you a sports host who can do it all. What other two current Sixers have won G League Rookie of the Year? Take some time to think about it. Who you got? Out the mud? Yeah, Paul Reed in 2021. And then Robert Covington as part of the Process Sixers all the way back in 2014. So there you go. Some trivia here on 76ers Now. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that sub button. You see the link as well down below. YouTube.com/76ers TV.